I got a challenge for the 12s to begin today's show. Chase Sr., the 49ers report. He's a friend, but in this case, he's a friend of me. He told me in the office today, he said, Tyler, there is no way that Seahawks today can get 1,000 likes on today's video. You guys haven't done it in a long time. Today's not going to be the day that it happens. And they just had a video with over 1,000 likes on the 49ers report, and he was talking his smack and all that. And I was quick to remind him who finished higher in the NFC West standings and who won the last game these two teams played. So if you would like to stick it to Chase Sr. and remind him who the best fans are in not just the NFC West, but the rest of the National Football League, I need you to like today's video. Smash that like button, and we'll get started with today's show. It is I, your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Loaded show ahead as one Seahawks insider is saying that the top Seahawks trade targets right now are Trey Hendrickson and Jaire Alexander. We will dive in to those discussions and react to it and more coming up here on today's show. Let's begin with Trey Hendrickson, the Athletics' Michael-Shawn Dugar, a Seahawks insider who's been covering the team for a number of years. He named Bengals edge Trey Hendrickson as a Seahawks trade target. Now, I will say, before we dive in too much on both these trade rumors, he did so with a caveat of sorts, but it is worth bringing up nonetheless. You guys know how it works around here. We report, we tell you what people are saying when it comes to the news and rumors, and we react to it. And that's what we're going to do here today. So let's start with this from Michael-Shawn Dugar. The price for the 30-year-old Defensive Player of the Year runner-up is probably way out of Seattle's budget. The combination of draft compensation to satisfy Cincinnati, age, and Hendrickson's desire for a new contract makes that a long shot, even though that's the type of splashy move that would push the Seahawks closer to being a championship contender. All right, so you're saying there's a chance. We've all seen Dumb and Dumber. Fantastic movie. Jim Carrey, I believe it's Jeff Daniels that's in that film with him. Great move. So you're saying there's a chance. It's a slim chance, but the fact that he is high on the Seahawks list is very intriguing. And it's also worth noting that Trey Hendrickson is not too pleased with his situation in Cincinnati these days. If you recall, the Bengals, they got a deal done with T. Higgins months ago now, but they still haven't gotten anything done with Trey Hendrickson. And it doesn't really make sense to me because Trey Hendrickson is pretty much the only good player on that Bengals defense. You think they would have prioritized Hendrickson over a receiver when they already have Jamar Chase, but I digress. ESPN's Adam Schefter said this today. Trey Hendrickson's statement today to ESPN, no communication has taken place between my camp and the organization post-draft. The offers prior to the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised last offseason if I continue to play at a high level. Coaches are aware of these past conversations. Rather than using collaboration to get to a point to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution to this situation, but that's hard to do when there is no discussion and an evident lack of interest reaching mutual goals. I like Trey Hendrickson a lot. He is one of the best defensive players in football, and he would be a huge asset to this Seahawks team. You look at his career, what he's done so far to this point, his resume has been fantastic as he's right in the thick of his prime years of his career. Began with the New Orleans Saints, then joined the Cincinnati Bengals a few years ago, a four-time Pro Bowler, a two-time first-team All-Pro as recently as this season, and he's coming off back-to-back campaigns with 17 and a half sacks in 2023 and in 2024. And you've seen that his numbers have really elevated over the last few seasons with those sacks. The QB hits have gone up. The tackles have gone up. The TFLs. He's been forcing the fumbles as well. But here's the bottom line, folks. The cost for a player like Trey Hendrickson is absolutely insane. The best case scenario of a trade for Trey Hendrickson, all right, and this is if everything goes right, is Seattle giving up a second and a fifth-round pick. Now, since he's going to want a first, and you can't blame them for wanting a first if they're going to trade a player of Trey Hendrickson's caliber, but this would be the best case situation for Seattle, only giving up a second and a fifth. According to Spotrac, Hendrickson's value is extremely high as well, as he's worth about 2 years, $62.93 million. So not only do you have to give up a lot in capital, but you got to pay the man as well. Seattle has the money to do it. They have plenty of cap space. But do you want to do that right now and give up that capital as well and also sacrifice that cap space that maybe you want to save for other things? So let's ask you. Your chance to be the GM here on Seahawks Today and weigh in on our pinned comment today. Should the Seahawks trade for Trey Hendrickson? Type T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know if they should trade for Trey Hendrickson or not. Folks, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today as we bring you the latest news and rumors on your favorite team each and every day with sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We're doing live shows every Monday and Wednesday. We bring you breaking news, Q&A mailbags. It's all in one place. I want to get at least 20 subs off today's video. If you want to stay up to date with the largest Seahawks channel on YouTube, you got to be subscribed. Doesn't cost you a thing. Absolutely 100% free. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Now, the other half of what Michael-Shawn Dugar was talking about in his reporting was Packers corner Jaire Alexander as the other top trade target for Seattle. Shawn Dugar said the following. Alexander, 28, would upgrade Seattle's cornerback room if healthy. But if health weren't a concern, the Packers would have found a trade partner already. Plus, Alexander's $16.1 million base salary in 2025 is more than Seattle is paying all three of its starting cornerbacks combined. Alexander is not that much of an upgrade to justify the gamble. Personally, I would not trade for Jaire Alexander, and simply this comes down to dollars and cents. I think $16.1 million for a guy that has struggled to stay healthy is just way too much for Seattle or really any team to consider. I don't think anyone's going to be trading for Jaire Alexander as long as he has that cost, unless he's willing to take a pay cut of some sorts. Now, there is another possible scenario out there. I think that there is a decent chance that if the Packers cannot find a trade partner for Jaire Alexander, that he could ultimately be cut and released and signed to any team on a much cheaper contract. And if that's the case, and he becomes available in free agency, then by all means, I could see Seattle potentially making an aggressive move to sign Jaire Alexander if he becomes available in that way. Let's ask you, your chance to be John Schneider. Should the Seahawks add Jaire Alexander? You got two options here. You can type Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in, let us know which way you lean towards. Got a great deal we're offering Seahawks fans right now. Rookie jerseys are available at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. And they're going to come with the numbers that you will see guys like Gray Zabel and Jalen Milroe wear. We'll have those for you, as well as other rookies at the link, chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. And maybe you don't want one of these rookie jerseys. Maybe you want a player like Sam Darnold or Cooper Kupp or somebody else out there. You go to that same link. We will take care of you and make sure you get the jersey you're looking for. Chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours now. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours today. Let's talk more about Jaire Alexander, the 2018 first-round pick out of Louisville. He was a two-time second-team All-Pro in 2020 and in 2022, was also a Pro Bowler in each of those seasons. And as a rookie, he lit it up as well, as he was named to the Pro Football Writers Association's All-Rookie team. When healthy, Alexander has been very productive. You can see in 7 games played this year, had 2 interceptions, a pick 6, 7 pass breakups, along with 16 tackles. But that's also the big if. You can see that he's missed a lot of time playing in just 14 combined games in the last 2 seasons, played in just 4 games in 2021. His coverage stats, they hold their own when he's out there. Completion percentage allowed, less than 57%. Only has given up 231 yards last year. Quarterback rating allowed is livable at 86.9. Those are all numbers that would be a massive improvement from Josh Jobe if you were to add him into the fold. But his current contract is just too much as is. He has 2 years remaining with $34.3 million in base salary that he is still owed at the moment. I think when you look at this corner room, you got Josh Jobe, Reek Woolen, and Devin Witherspoon. And I feel really good about Spoon and Reek Woolen. But I don't feel great about the idea of Josh Jobe being a full-time starter in 2025. And Mike Macdonald has said in the past that he would like to have some competition for Josh Jobe. And I think everybody would be feeling really good if Josh Jobe is your backup corner, if he can step in, if there's an injury and come in. And I think he would do a really good job in that sense. But I think you can do better than Josh Jobe. And Alexander, I think, would be an upgrade, but only for the right price. That's the key. I don't think you need to be trading for him. I don't think you need to take on his current contract. But if he is released, I think by all means, you could be running to his agent to go get a deal done to potentially sign him. If you had to pick one to add, which player would you rather have in Seattle right now? Trey Hendrickson or Jaire Alexander? Type TH for Trey Hendrickson. Type JA for Jaire Alexander. Let us know. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.